Here's the truth about the Newcastle takeover. All this worry and anxiety, it's partly the fans' fault. Just hear me out here. Pretty much all Newcastle fans are feeling fed up, anxious, irritated, or any other adjective you want to throw out there. We're all in this together and we're all feeling it at the moment, and it's rubbish. But I do wonder, is the fact that this is happening in 2020 a factor? For example, the fans who hunt for information online are in some ways really smart and dedicated and just want the best for the club. Spending time trawling sites like Companies House and finding changes is great detective work. But I wish they hadn't bothered, to be honest. Ignorance is bliss after all. The Companies House stuff brought the deal into sharp focus and confirmed that this was actually happening in a way that 10 to 15 years ago we would never have known about. When Man City was bought, it just kind of happened without any fan detectives because social media wasn't really a thing back then. And when Chelsea were purchased in the early 2000s, I doubt the government even had a Companies House section on the website. This has led to the deal becoming public knowledge before its time. It was in the public domain before it was ready to be, and has resulted in this endless speculation about a completion date. We've also seen 24/7 monitoring of airspace, endless refreshing of Twitter and other social media, constant questioning of journalists because we all want information, and we all want that information right now. The truth is, it's not healthy for any of us. Journalists found out that a date of 2 to 4 weeks was likely. The journos were helping people understand, but then unfortunately what happens is some people get a date and they take that as gospel. When that date subsequently passes, then it causes anxiety and worry. More refreshing of social media, more questioning journalists, more scrapping around for any crumb of evidence that they can find. All understandable to an extent, like I say, but it also shows a lack of understanding of these complex deals from a section of supporters. This isn't like buying a new car or even a new house. It's much, much more complicated. And with multiple parties involved across the world and staff at the Premier League on furlough, it's no wonder things have so far taken longer than the 2 to 4 weeks we were led to believe was normal. Of course, the truth here is that the huge problem with the details becoming public knowledge earlier than anyone involved in the deal would have wanted them to is that it has allowed all types of opposing voices to have their say on the deal. I just wonder if the Companies House stuff hadn't have become knowledge so soon as it was put up, a fan discovered it. What happens if it had taken a journalist a couple of weeks to have discovered that? We then would have had a couple of weeks less of this constant worrying and pressure and all these kind of things with it being in the public domain. And really, this is why I now wish we hadn't known. We've seen the likes of Amnesty International, the widow of Jamal Khashoggi, politicians, fans from other clubs, some journalists, the president of La Liga, other Premier League clubs, and of course, Qatari-ran beIN Sports via their mouthpiece, Richard Keys, object to the deal. The truth is, nobody knows whether any of these people or groups will affect the outcome. But wouldn't it have been nice to not have any of this stress and anxiety? We'll keep waiting and we'll keep hoping that this gets approval from the Premier League, of course we will. But the truth is, in 2020, having a deal like this as public knowledge is not a good thing at all, as Newcastle supporters have had to find out the hard way. I'd give a lot to bring back my blissful ignorance of it all. Thank you so much for watching another video on my channel. If you've liked what you've seen, please consider subscribing. That's on the screen right now. And there's also a couple of other videos on the screen, as you can see, that you can choose from to click on if you want to watch another video from my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you really soon for another video.